If you would not be heartbroken, you must understand the law of peace offering. For someone to last around you, for someone to keep being attracted to you, you have to learn how to give them peace and rest. Proverbs 7:14. Thank you. I have peace offerings with me. Today I've paid my vows. Listen, it is not every occurrence, it is not every negative occurrence that you need to fight about. There are some things you need to overlook. If everybody is looking for a reason to fight, you will be fighting every minute for 24 hours. But there are some things to ignore. There are some things to overlook. There are some things you will see and pretend that you didn't see it for peace to reign. And that is how, when you actually have issues to address, it will carry weight. When the person knows that this is not a person that is used to complaining, the day you choose to talk, they will listen. But when they know it's a pattern, the day you have something serious to talk, learn to give them peace. Whether it's your woman or it's your man, learn to give them peace. They went to work, their boss shouted at them. They were coming, the conductor did his own. Now they are home, they can't have rest again. Where would they rest? The only reason I believe that made Samson keep going back to Delilah is that every other place, what he faces is battle. When he comes back, what he finds in Delilah's lap is rest. So it wasn't as if he didn't know that Delilah was dangerous, but every other place is battle. It was only on Delilah's lap that he finds rest. If you are the kind that gives rest, they will keep coming back to you. Let's check Proverbs 21:19. The Bible said, it's better to dwell in the wilderness than with a contentious and angry woman. Let me see what's in NIV or NLT. Any of the two. It's better to live alone in the desert than with a quarrelsome and complaining wife. Imagine what a desert is like. No food, no water, no living thing, scorching, in fact, extra scorching sun. Sandstorm that can make blind. But the Bible said it's better to live in that kind of hazardous zone than to live with somebody that is used to nagging, used to quarreling. Learn to give the people in your life peace if you want them to stay. If you are not a peaceful person, heartbreak is looming. Some people are just too violent and too troublesome to keep relationships. It's not as if God is not doing it. Because you will pray, God will do it, but God will not keep that miracle for you. God will give you the miracle. It is your character that will keep that miracle. So if you've not cultivated your character to the point of keeping that miracle, the miracle will come, but you will lose it. And before I move to the next point, sometimes giving people peace is not even about fighting. Giving people peace is giving them breathing space. You've not called me today, but I've called you 6 times. Only 6 times. Only 6 times. I expect you to call me every 30 minutes. You've not called me today, but I sent you text messages. No, text messages is different from hearing your voice. You have to call. I'm going. So you are going. You just spent 1 hour and you are going. They've been to work. They closed at 5. Got to your place at 7. It's 1 hour not enough. Won't they rest? Won't they sleep? Won't they prepare for the next day? And it's both on the man's side and on the woman's side. Some men, your woman will come in. You got home before them. You will sit down. Chairman, Sitting Associations of Nigeria. So you will expect the woman to come, do the cooking, do the mopping, do the washing. Some people are not even married yet. You want the woman to play wife. Well, I'm not against them doing some things. And the reason why I'm not against women doing some things in relationship before marriage is because we are the ones in church that preach that they should not have sex before marriage. We are the ones that preach some certain level of limitations, which the people outside are giving their men and giving their women. So if you are not going to give them sex, at least there should be something that you can give them as a foretaste of the glory ahead. And what I call that, and what I call that is good food. If you go there, I'm not talking everyday event, I'm not talking everyday occurrence, but you go there and you don't belong to the category that will help them squander their money at ShopRite. But you go to the market and make good food that they cannot get at ShopRite. They will eat it and they will think, if food from the pot is this sweet. I can imagine. But some people, they are taking privileges as a right. The fact that she came around today to cook for you doesn't mean she has to come every day to do it. It's a privilege, it's not a right. You are not married yet. There are days you two should surprise her. You know she's coming. If it's just egg and bread you can make, fry the egg or boil the egg and present it with a drink. You might not know more than that, but it shows how thoughtful you are. Jesus did that. There were instances where Jesus would roast fish and leave bread for them, and the disciples will come and meet roasted fish and bread. He doesn't know how to do more than roasting fish, but at least he did what he knew. Do what you know. You are a man, you cannot cook, but at least you can mop. You cannot cook, but at least you can wash or iron. Help them. When you are around, let them know you are around. You might not be married yet. Let them know, my man is around. Okay, where are your clothes? Let me just help you iron too for work tomorrow. They won't curse you. They will love you for it. In fact, where women are concerned, it's those little things that matter. It's men that always think of gifting big-sized things. Where women are concerned, little acts of thoughtfulness is what gets them to stay. The next point is the law of romance. Proverbs 7:13. Proverbs 7:13. So she sought him and kissed him. With an impudent face, she said to him, leave it there. I checked the meaning of romance in the dictionary, and I discovered that to be romantic means being conducive to or characterized by the expression of love. You are conducive to or characterized by the expression of love, meaning that you know how to give love and you know how to receive love. You are conducive to it, you can receive it, then you can express it. So you are not romantic if all you do is just, they bring it to collect it, they bring it to collect it. No. It's supposed to be both ways. You receive it, then you give it. That is being romantic. So ladies, don't say it's the man that should give. They will give, but you too give. One of the evidences of love is giving. You can give without loving, but you can't love without giving. It's not possible. You want to share everything with that person if you indeed love them. And what are those expressions? What are those romantic expressions? It includes calling them, sending them messages. It could be WhatsApp messages, text messages, Facebook messages. Gifts. It could be love notes. It could be listening ear. The person is talking and the person has your 100% undivided attention. That is being romantic. Know how to say the right things. Know how to calm them down. That is being romantic. And what do I mean by saying some people don't know how to receive love? They just only know how to give it. Those are the categories of people they will say you look good. Tell me when you want to yab me. So I look good with this big tummy. So I look good with this one. When they tell you you look good, simply accept the compliment and say thank you. You might have the big tummy, fine. But there is something else they are seeing that they are complimenting. It's not everybody that is focusing attention on the big tummy. When they tell the guy you are looking good, so without this yam in the back of my leg and that, accept it and say a simple thank you. Part of not being romantic is somebody tells you, I love you, and you say thank you, or If you actually love the person, when the person tells you, I love you, you tell the person, I love you too. Because it's about the person's nature, not about the money. The next point is the law of pursuit. The law of pursuit. Proverbs 7:15. So I came out to meet you, diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. You know, there's a way you treat people that will make the people stay. There's a way you treat people that will make the people go. For you to keep people, if your heart will not be broken, you have to understand how to make people feel wanted, how to make people feel desired, how to make people feel valued, esteemed, how to place attention on people. The relationship is heading for a heartbreak if you are the type that the gentleman or the lady is talking to you and you are there pinging. What's happening? And the lady is, but I'm talking to you, I'm hearing with my ears. Is it not the ear you used to hear? You don't hear with the ears. You hear with the eyes, according to Yoruba proverb. Why? Because there are so many things that might be buried in the place of speech, but body language will reveal it. So if you are the type that you don't look when the person is talking, you will miss out on a lot of things. You will think you heard there, but you didn't. And you'll be telling the lady, what happened? Nothing. The nothing like this says a lot. But because you were not looking in that direction, you didn't even know she turned. You just heard nothing. Oh, so Kosi. Okay, we are good. You can be talking to somebody and the person will be saying, I love you. But because you are not looking in that direction, some people would leave their partner on the seat and they will say, please, I'm coming. I just want to see off my friend. You will now get to the gate with your friend and start another level of gist. You can be there 1 hour and your partner is sitting down waiting. And you are saying you don't want that to break. Okay. Even your friends have to know that according to Yoruba proverb, that when one metal meets another metal, one must bow. Meaning that somebody ranks higher than the other person, and the person that ranks higher is the partner or is the spouse. Because when you go and sit or sleep beside your own, this is who I have. So if because of you lose this person, you will share your own with me. And please let me say this. I want us to keep it on our left hands, like the Yoruba people say, so that you won't forget it. When you are ranking priorities in decision making, when you are ranking priorities, 2 things should be factored. 1, never rank an inanimate thing above the animate. What do I mean an inanimate thing? You have a time in your hands where you can either choose to be with your man or your woman or to carry out certain assignments. Don't follow the assignment. Maybe I have house chores to do, I have birthday party to attend or whatever. Don't follow that, leaving the other person. Because your clothes cannot cry and get angry that they are going. The house cannot cry and get angry, but the other person can walk away. But if this other person is pleased, the person can join you to get the assignments done. Forever, human being will always be superior to any other thing. Then, in relationship and in marriage, when you have to choose, no matter how seemingly important that thing is, the thing comes next to your husband or your wife. No matter how seemingly important it is. As long as there is no case of assault. I'm not talking about assault or things like that, but I'm talking about normal decision making. No matter how seemingly important it is, your husband or your wife comes first. Why? Because in life, There is nothing else you cannot borrow or you cannot be given except a husband or a wife. People will always tell you that the love of a mother is next to the love of God. As much as your mother loves you, can you go home and say, Mommy, borrow me my dad for the weekend in the hotel? Will your mom borrow you? Can you as a man go back home and tell your dad, Dad, I know you love me. I want to sleep with mommy in the hotel for a weekend. So people can borrow you money. People can borrow you clothes. People can even dash you money. People can dash you clothes. People can help you get a job, but nobody, including your parents, will share their husband or their wives with you. So when it comes to decision making, don't relegate your man or your woman to please anybody. Because nobody will share theirs with you. The next law is the law of preparation, willingness, and readiness. You don't want to be heartbroken? Then you have to understand the law of preparation, willingness, and readiness. He said, I have spread my bed with tapestry, colored coverings of Egyptian linen. She's trying to pass across a message that I'm not only desiring this thing, I'm prepared for it. Listen and listen good. You will eventually lose any opportunity that comes your way and you are not prepared for. Even if it lands on your laps, on a platter of gold, or on the basis of connection to some high-powered people, you will eventually make a mess of it and it will slip through your grasp if you are not prepared or ready for it. So, you are trusting God to be a wife. You are trusting God to have a fiancé. How prepared are you? You want to marry. You think you are old enough. You think you need a good man in your life. How prepared are you? How prepared are you to be a wife? Can you cook? Can you set the house in order? Can you manage money? Can you submit? Do you understand what it means to be submissive? And the man, you want a woman in your life. You want to settle down and be married. How prepared are you to be a husband? Do you have a job? Or you want to bring another person's daughter to come and suffer hunger under your roof? Are you self-controlled? Or because you are the head of the family, you must impose autocratic regime, dictatorial regime? Are you self-controlled? Are you selfless with money? Or the money goes to your pocket. The wife doesn't even know how much you earn. She doesn't even know whether you've collected salary or not. Do you know how to treat a woman right? It will be a wicked father that will hand over his son or his daughter to the hand of a tormentor. And the Bible said, if wicked parents know how to give good things to their children, how much more God? So you can't be a nuisance or a riffraff and be trusting God to give the best to you. If earthly parents will not give their good children to riffraffs, God will not do that. So if you are trusting God for good, then you have to cultivate yourself, position yourself, restructure yourself, adjust your life to be the good you are expecting, because only the deep will call onto the deep. If you are shallow, you will only attract equally a shallow person. The next point, if you will not be heartbroken, is the law of good smell. The woman said, I've perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Listen to me, as insignificant as this might be, it is one of the major reasons why many relationships don't hold. You are trying to talk to the lady, but the lady is perceiving mouth odor, perceiving armpit odor. You can't go somewhere that is rugged and they will tell you to off your shoe. If you've worn a cloth before, and you are the type that sweats, it's better you don't rewear. If you are the type that sweats a lot, it's better you don't rewear. And if you are the type that probably the environment you went to was AC, you didn't get to sweat and things like that, or probably you didn't wear it for a long time, if you are going to wear it again, immediately you get home, take it out and let the sun attend to it before you bring it in. Let's go to Genesis 27:27, please. And he came near and kissed him and smelled the smell of his clothing and blessed him. Before the blessing came, the smell came. Before the blessing came, the smell came. It was after he smelled him and was satisfied with the smell he perceived, because he was expecting the smell of a hunter. So the guy covered his skin with his body with animal skin and went to wear Esau's shirt. So by the time he smelled him, the smell was exactly what he expected. And the Bible now said, and he blessed him and said, surely the smell of my son is like the smell of a field which the Lord has blessed. Next. 28. He now said, therefore may God give you. You want God to give you, smell good. If you don't smell good, God will not give you. And if God gives you, you won't retain it. Who lives in the toilet? It's because the toilet doesn't smell good. Why do people stay in the kitchen? You smell curry, you smell Maggi, you smell everything. You'll be using nose to trace it. So you want to be given, then you need to watch how you smell. You are conscious. The fact that you are fasting is not the criteria. I'm fasting, I don't want to swallow water. That's why I didn't brush. Have you forgotten that you will speak to people? Listen to me. Even if you brushed in the morning, if you kept quiet for a while, your mouth is likely to smell in a certain way. So if you know that where you are going will not permit you to talk often, or you are fasting, or you are going to the library, keep mints. Keep chewing mints, keep tom-tom, something that you can use to freshen your mouth. There are certain foods that you eat that might demand you go and brush again. Foods like beans, food like groundnut, food like iru. If you ate a food that had iru spice, or you ate suya with onion, don't say because you brushed in the morning. There's no way you'll be able to explain to the person that it was because of this thing I ate. All they will just perceive is the smell. And if you are not smelling good, they will not give. If God will not give, if God has to wait for you to smell before he can give, how much more human? So watch out for how you smell. Use perfumes, use roll-ons, use deodorants. Don't wear clothes repeatedly. Don't wear boxers repeatedly. Don't wear socks repeatedly. If you are the type that you know that your shoes are liable to smelling, then after wearing it, don't bring it in, put it in the sun. And before you enter, wash your feet. Pastor, we always say that the truth we need to know. Many people will not tell us. So we need to always confront ourselves with the truth. Some people, they used to have some, I don't know what, the athlete's foot. Some sore under their toes. Some of them are footballers. Some it happens naturally. There's no way a sore, no matter how little, will be exposed to heat and sweat and will not smell. You know you have something like that. Wash your feet before you enter the house and apply something. There are places that people go to just because of the smell. There are people that will want to sit around you just because of the way you smell. There are people that will plan that just want to spend 5 minutes and they will just discover that. And lastly, you don't want to be heartbroken. You have to pay attention to the law of conduciveness. You want people to stay around you. You don't want people to go. then you have to create an enabling or a conducive environment for things to thrive. And love and attraction is not an exemption. If love will thrive, if attraction will thrive, if affection will thrive, there has to be a conducive environment. Proverbs 7:18-19. She said, "Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He has gone on a long journey." What she's trying to say here is that the hindrance, in quotes, because she's doing a bad thing here, the hindrance to them having a field day is the husband, but the husband is out of the way. So you want a relationship that will last. You want a marriage that will last. You don't want to be heartbroken. How conducive is the relationship environment for growth? How conducive is your marital environment? Have you removed all the hindrances and disturbing factors like your ego? Have you removed those weaknesses? I'm like that. You saw me before you married me. I was still trying to correct a lady. And later, he knew I was a choleric before he married me now. Okay. It will be with the consciousness of you being choleric that will kick you out. Temperamental instabilities. When I'm angry, I say my mind. I give them a piece of my mind. If we say everything we think, there are some things that it is at the place of your thinking it that it will die for peace to reign. If you say what you are thinking, things will get spoiled. What about geographical location tendencies? You know certain people from certain places. They have certain tendencies. But in order to create an enabling environment for your relationship and marriages to grow, you have to intentionally suppress some things. You have to intentionally fix some weaknesses. You have to intentionally deal with some ego issues. Paul was talking. He said, I put my body under. So it's not as if the body would not want to rear up its ugly head. It's not as if you will not get angry at times and you want to give the person a piece of your mind. It's not that there will be times when you would want to say it the way it is. But you know that when you say it the way it is, it will accomplish destruction rather than build things and bring about restoration. So intentionally, that flesh part of you, you put it under, that God might be glorified. And lastly, for you not to be heartbroken, you need to always be God conscious. Because for everything I told you and for everything you read, there will be people that will tell you, I did all these things, and some people still left. Because there are people that personally, they are just bad. And some good people will be unfortunate to fall into their hands. That's the case of Abigail and Nabal. Many times I will sit and wonder that, how did Abigail get into this man's house? And that is why we need the mercy of God. The Bible said you can only avenge disobedience when your own obedience is complete. Do everything you know how to do. Then leave the remaining in the hands of God. The Bible said, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. And I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So you approach God on the basis of, God, I've done everything I know humanly possible to make things work. God, put your extra on my ordinary. And give me an extraordinary relationship or an extraordinary marriage so that my relationship will be heartbreak free. And I join my faith with us and pray for us, people in credible relationships, and I mean credible relationships, and people in marriages, that God will make our relationships and our marriages heartbreak free in Jesus' name. Thank you.